Well, how many were here last, what was it, a month ago or so when we did the town hall meeting? A few? Yeah, okay. Little smaller crowd, and at that one we had really tried to, wanted to get your questions addressed right up from the very beginning. We're finding as we're doing town hall meetings, a lot of those questions are continuing to be familiar. Gas prices obviously is one of those. Actually, even though every single, I did I think 7 or 9 town hall meetings that week in a 3-day period. And every single time, gas prices were usually about the 10th thing that came up, which surprised me a little bit, especially at $4 a gallon. But we can talk a little bit about that, talk about budgets, we'll talk about what's happening. In fact, I just got an update from Eric Cantor about some of the discussions with the Biden group, and I'm happy to read parts of that email to you as well, and kind of go through. So, does anybody have a burning issue or question that they want to get out of the way right away? Yes, sir. You have to remind me of your name. If you don't mind telling us your name, I don't know if you've got a microphone or not. But
Tom Vanderkite.
That's right. I remember you and I had interacted back when I worked for Pete. So
both parties are beating around the bush about how we're going to reduce spending. I don't want to know both parties stand, the Republicans stand. I don't want to know those. I want to know from you where you stand. Now, I know we've got Social Security. If you want to say that, where? How? How about the Medicare? Where? How? And maybe 3 other areas. I want you to tell us this afternoon what you are going to propose to reduce spending.
okay. All right. We'll tackle that. Anybody else have an issue right away? Yep. Yep.
I just tangentially, but it looks like your chart projects out the tax revenues, including keeping push tax, letting push tax expire. I was wondering if that was intentional or not. But my actual question.
Yeah. But let me because this is an easy one. This is a chart that we'll see up here, and you see under that because it's kind of a solid green line, right? It's flat.
There's a little dip. It's crushed together, but then it pops up after in the future.
What that is if you look at it, that's projected of what is happening, and what it does is it takes the historical average. So that's the 18.2%. So that just gives it the flat.
Right, but what I'm saying is, right, if you projected it at what they are right now, that would be almost on the bottom of the page, wouldn't it?
No, it's kind of where it's kind
That's
of.
if you look at that spot, you can see it's up there, and then the Bush tax cuts happen, and it goes down. And it hasn't actually come back up yet, but in the future you have the chart going back up and then staying at that level for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, in the foreseeable future, because what the foreseeable future is this was OMB, Office of Management and Budget, and CBO, Congressional Budget Office numbers as what they're projecting, and then it hits, and I apologize, I think it's like 2017 or so, whatever, they are projecting, from there they're not projecting, they're just using the 18.2% historical average moving forward. So.
Where it is, if those tax cuts expire.
Yeah.
Is it your policy to let those tax cuts expire?
No.
Okay, because then your charts are really, really off. The debt's going to go way higher because of that. Okay, now, my actual question, sorry. It seems like we're talking about long-term problems. Social Security is at least 25 or 30 years out. Medicare's a little closer, but still, we're talking about long-term problems. We're also talking about cutting spending drastically, and the states have been. States have cut about 10%, which is largely. If you look at the job stuff, the private sector jobs are up. Most of the reason that our job growth is not as high as it should be is because they've been offset by job loss in states. Teachers, those are actual jobs, even if they are government jobs. During a recession and a really fragile recovery that's also showing signs now of not continuing to be recovery, I don't understand the economic theory that says cutting now in the middle of when the economy is really, really fragile. I fail to see any economist who can show me a mechanism where austerity cutting is going to do anything but dampen the economy, slow it down when it's already pretty slow.
And I'm not sure if you would adhere to the notion that if we hadn't done something, it would have been far worse than than the 13% we saw in Michigan and 10 point whatever.
Without the auto bailouts and that part, without stimulus, I think there's no question.
No question on your part, from your belief on that. But there is not consensus on that. By the way, do you mind telling us who you are?
Sorry,
Yeah.
You said it was my consensus, but it's not just my consensus. The general consensus of the
That
country
is
is
what
that
you are bringing forward, yes.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm curious as we are.
I'm Mike Nordic. I live here in Holland. I have 2 kids. They go to public schools here in Holland. I'm a resident, and I'm one of your constituents.
Great. Okay. Good. Yes, right back here.
I think we're here to listen to you today, not to debate.
No.
Well, I want to have some. The question was, or the statement was, we're here to listen, not just debate. And I have no problem. We are not going to agree on everything. We're not. We'll just get that away. Mom and Dad are here in the second row. Mom and Dad and I don't agree on everything. That's not going to be unusual. So we can see some more hands going up, and I think maybe we just let's get a few things out there. I've got a whole series of slides that we're not going to get through. We're not going to get through them all, but let's do this. I think this is healthy. We'll just start getting a few of those things, and we'll come right down here. I'm sorry, the guy in the white right here and here.
I was going to make a follow-up question depending on your answer to Tom's question.
Okay, follow-up question.